Stay safe.
Stay active.
And stay healthy.
Hi guys, I'm Miss Piper from PASS Physical Activity and Sports Specialist. Today is the last lesson of our dance lesson where we're carrying on and finishing our toys scheme of work. Now we've looked at loads of toys throughout this scheme of work. We've looked at Toy Story where we were Buzz and Woody and Jessie. We also looked at Pinocchio where we were a puppet that was on strings, and we also looked at being a puppet that was free. So we've looked at loads of stuff this term. So we're going to try to remember that for later on in the lesson. We're going to go back through some of those actions. But before we do that, we need to do our warm-up. Now, for our warm-up today, we are just going to be moving around and acting out different toys from what we can remember. You might be being a cuddly bear, a bouncy ball, a toy soldier, anything you like. You can act them out as you're moving around. And we're just going to do this on our own. So I'm going to go show you mine, and then you guys get a chance to do yours. So we're going to be moving around. I'm going to be moving around like I'm a puppet on string. So I'm going to pretend that my arms and legs are on a piece of string and somebody's controlling it and they're moving me around. So I'm going to use my space to move all the way around just like a puppet. I might lift my leg up really high and stretch it really far, and I might dangle my arm over here. So that's my toy that I've chosen to do. So you guys are going to choose any toy or a range of toys to act out for your warm-up. Okay, pause the video here and go and do the warm-up. Right guys, as it is the last lesson of our dance scheme of work, you are going to be creating your own dances today using all of the actions that we've learned over the term. So we're going to do a quick recap from the Toy Story lesson and the kind of actions that we might have done in that lesson. Now, we were Woody and Buzz and Jessie and sometimes even Bullseye. We're going to really quickly go through a couple of the actions that you might have used to see if you can remember them. So, for Woody, you might have been taking off your cowboy hat. You might have just been taking it off and putting it back on, and maybe even bending your knees to do that one. You might have been throwing a lasso. So throwing it around your head, forward, and then pulling it back in. For Buzz, you might have decided that you were doing a flying action. So we've got our arms out wide and we are flying around our space. You might have decided that you were doing a springing or a turning action, because Buzz is very springy, he loves to jump from things to things. So you might have, for Buzz, you might have jumped up and then spun all the way around. Now for Jessie, you might have decided that because she is a cowgirl as well, she might have been taking her hat off and she might have been stepping side to side as she did it, or she might have been galloping around on Bullseye. So she might have been moving around whilst riding Bullseye. Now I can remember my 3 actions that I made up. So I'm going to show you to help you remember them. And you can choose to keep my actions, or you can make up your own again. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to show you mine. So my first action was Woody, and I did a lasso. So I went 1, 2, 3, and then I threw it and pulled it back in. My next action was Buzz, where I jumped forward, landed, and then did a spin. And then my last action, I got on Bullseye like I was Jessie, and I was riding around on Bullseye. Now you might remember that we had a song playing when we did that lesson. So I'm going to quickly put the music on and show you my toys dance. Okay, so I am going to do my Woody action. And I'll throw it, bring it back in. Buzz, I'm going to jump forward, land, and do my spin. And my last one's going to be Jessie, where I'm going to gallop all the way around my space. And I might do them all again. So I might start with Woody and do Woody's action again, and then jump and do Buzz, and then finish with Jessie on Bullseye. Okay, so now that you've seen me do those actions, it's time for you to do them as well. So pause the video here and go and practice your Toy Story dance. Welcome back guys. So now that we've practiced some of our Toy Story actions, we're going to look at some of the other actions we went through this term. We went through being a puppet that was attached to strings, and remember some of us were puppeteers who were holding the strings and controlling our puppets. We also did a puppet that didn't have any strings. And then we looked at even more characters. Some of you might have been a robot or a teddy bear or a bouncy ball, whatever you decided. I'm going to quickly recap my puppet actions and my puppet free actions if I can remember them. If I can't, I'm just going to make them up again, because that's what we like to do in dance. We like to change some of our routines. So my puppet on strings action. I remember that my puppet was all floppy to start with because I was waiting for my puppeteer to pull me upright and keep my arms out here. And then I remember that my actions went side to side and it was just my arms moving. And then my next action was my legs, and I did a big circle with one and then a big circle with the other. And then someone cut my strings and I went all floppy again because my puppet was free, and we flopped all the way down to the floor. So then when my puppet was free, I had to spring up into the air. So we sprung up and then we started doing some other actions like a free puppet. So I was dancing around because I was free. I then did some star jumps. So I did out and did loads of star jumps. So they're all the actions that I did for my puppets and my free puppets and other characters. Can you go and practice some of those actions for me and see, can you link them with the Toy Story actions that you've already done? So we're going to make up remember our puppet and our puppet free actions and then join them together with our Toy Story actions. Okay, pause the video here to go give that a try. Welcome back, guys. I hope you're having fun going through all your dance routines. Now, at the moment, you might have been doing these on your own. This is going to be your opportunity for the rest of the lesson to work with a group. Now, you might work with a partner or a group of 3 or even a group of 4. This is where for the rest of the lesson, you will now all work together to create your dance. And you can choose the music that you want in the background that we've used this term. So you might use a Toy Story song, Woody's Roundup. You could use some of the Pinocchio songs where we were stuck on the puppet on strings. You can use any music that we've used this term, because what I want you to do for the rest of this lesson is to create your dances as a group. And can you all do the same actions? You might choose to do them at the same time, which is our unison, or do them at different times, which is a canon. So one person starts the action, then the next and the next. Now, remember, in lesson 4, we worked as a group, and I wanted you to look at how you were standing. Do we just stand looking at each other? You might be next to each other looking forwards. You might be back to back. Loads of ways for you to stand. Okay, have a think, find a group, talk to them and see if you can come up with your dance for me. Well done, guys. I'm sure you're doing really well with the dances you are creating in your groups and thinking about the different ways that you are standing. Now, the last task of the lesson, I need you to look at feedback and watching somebody else's performance. So you're going to choose another group or another pair, however you've set yourselves up, and you're going to go and watch them, watch their performance and their whole performance. We're going to make sure we are paying attention. Now, when we're watching a performance, there's something that we're always looking for. It's our star points that we're looking for, the things we really like and why we really like them. So if I was watching a performance, I'm going to watch the whole thing. I'm going to give them a clap when they finish. I'm going to tell them what I really like. I might say that I really liked the way that their group was set up because they were set up in all different places and it looked amazing. I might also tell them that I liked all their linking actions. So how they went from one character straight into another one or kept their dance going with no breaks in the middle. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to find a group to go and watch and give them the feedback. And then make sure you swap over so that they get to watch you as well. Right, pause the video here for me and off you go. Well done, guys. That's it. A whole term of dance completed. Well done for joining in every week and committing to the lessons. You have looked at making up different characters, following storylines, creating actions for characters. So you've done loads this term. You should be really, really proud of yourselves for working so hard. And you've even given and been given feedback for your performances. So that's really good work. Well done you, and thank you for joining in. I might see you for another lesson one day soon.